I joined Clearview Logistics on a rainy Tuesday morning. New jacket, pressed shirt, a bit too much deodorant. You know that feeling. The nervous energy that comes with starting fresh. I was excited. Finally, a decent job with a mid-sized logistics company that promised transparency, efficiency, and integrity. Their actual tagline. It made me laugh later. My role was logistics coordinator. Fancy title for managing delivery routes, driver schedules, and making sure stuff got from point A to B without exploding along the way. The first month was smooth. My manager, Paul, had that tired but charming energy you see in people who've been around the corporate block too many times. We shared jokes, worked late a few nights, even grabbed beers with the team. He wasn't exactly inspiring, but he wasn't a micromanager either, which was good enough for me. Then I started noticing things. At first, small stuff, delivery logs being finalized before the trucks even left the dock, drivers being asked to lie about delays, inventory numbers that magically corrected themselves overnight. When I brought it up to a senior colleague, let's call him Jake, he just gave me this tired smile and said, "You're still new. Keep your head down. Get your paycheck." But I couldn't. I'd seen what cutting corners can do at my old company. They lost a huge contract because one guy thought no one would notice a few missing pallets. I wasn't about to be part of the same mess again, so I began collecting receipts. It was subtle at first. I started backing up email threads, taking screenshots, quietly comparing system logs. You'd be amazed how much people leave in shared folders when they think no one's watching. Then I compiled it all into an anonymous report. 11 pages of irregularities, false entries, and timeline mismatches. I sent it to the internal audit team on a Friday evening, thinking I'd done the right thing. I actually felt good. By Monday morning, everything changed. I got pulled into a meeting. Paul was there, along with a woman from HR I'd never seen before. She had that practiced HR smile that never quite touches the eyes. Paul opened with, "We've had some concerns raised about your conduct." I blinked. "My conduct?" He nodded solemnly, flipping through a manila folder I'm sure was just for show. Insubordination, creating a hostile environment, potential tampering with data systems. It was laughable, except no one was laughing. I told them I had no idea what they were talking about, but they didn't care. Effective immediately, the HR rep said, "Your employment is terminated. We'll have someone escort you to collect your things." And just like that, I was out. No reference, no severance, just a paper box and 1,000 unanswered questions. They thought they'd shut me up. Instead, they woke something up. The first week after getting fired was rough. I stewed in bitterness, replayed the meeting 100 times in my head, every insult, every lie. But after the anger faded, I started putting the puzzle pieces together. Clearview wasn't just shady. They were running a full-blown scam. They were overbilling clients, rigging SLA reports, and creating fake subcontractors to bid on their own contracts. Their secret wasn't just speed, it was cheating. I had enough documentation to blow this wide open. I could have gone to a reporter or lawyer right then and there, but I didn't want to just expose them. I wanted to dismantle them, slowly, carefully, from the inside out. I got a new job at a rival logistics company about 40 miles away. It took some patience, but eventually I landed a regional coordinator role with direct influence over routes where Clearview used to dominate. My new company had been struggling to compete with Clearview's pricing, but they didn't know the reason. I quietly helped our team restructure how we bid. Transparent pricing, better tracking software, tighter route efficiency. It didn't take long for us to start winning contracts they had held for years. But I didn't stop there. I reached out to a few ex-Clearview drivers I had befriended. Guys who were laid off or left because they refused to cook numbers. I convinced them to file a joint complaint, anonymously at first. With their help, I built a dossier: driver logs, GPS data, emails, invoice comparisons. I cross-referenced everything I had with actual shipment records. We found entire routes where fuel costs were inflated by 30%, money that disappeared into someone's pocket. Once everything was airtight, we submitted it to the Department of Transportation's whistleblower program. This time, I didn't hide my name. The investigation didn't make headlines at first, but it didn't have to. Once the government started digging, it was game over. Clearview's accounting system was a house of cards. The audit exposed millions in fraudulent invoices and regulatory violations. Shareholders jumped ship. Clients pulled contracts. The CEO resigned under pressure. And Paul? He got called in for questioning. The very same guy who smiled while stabbing me in the back was now on record trying to explain why 3 different logbooks showed 3 different realities. The cherry on top? My new company acquired Clearview's warehouse division for pennies on the dollar. And guess who applied for a job during the transition? That's right, Paul. I didn't even have to do anything dramatic. I just forwarded his resume with a short note. Applicant involved in previous compliance investigation. Recommend no further action. That was the last I ever heard of him. I didn't get a medal. No thank you letter from the government. I don't need one. What I got was better. Every time I see a Clearview truck rebranded under my company's name, I remember the kid I was on that rainy first day. Hopeful, maybe naive. And I smile. Because in a world where the bad guys usually win, this time they didn't. This time the little guy fought back and won.